David's world had shrunk. It was now bounded by the four walls of their small house. The school gates where he dropped off and picked up his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, in the worn armchair where he collapsed most evenings. The weight of single parenthood pressing down on him. 2 years had passed since Catherine, his beloved wife, Lily's vibrant mother, had slipped away after a brief, fierce illness. The color seemed to have drained from their lives along with her presence. The house, once filled with Catherine's laughter and the scent of baking bread, felt hollow. The cheerful yellow paint in the living room seemed faded, mocking the absent sunshine Catherine embodied. Lily, a child who had sparkled with joy, was now a quiet shadow. Her bright blue eyes, so like her mother's, held a perpetual sadness that David felt mirrored in his own soul. Mealtimes were the hardest. Lily would push her food around her plate, answering his strained questions about her day with monosyllabic replies, her gaze distant. David worked as a librarian in the town's small, comfortable library. It was a quiet job, a sanctuary of sorts, filled with the comforting smell of old paper and the hushed rustle of turning pages. But even there, the demands of balancing work with caring for Lily were relentless. Mornings were a rushed blur of getting Lily ready, making sure she ate something, dropping her at school, and then hurrying to open the library doors. Evenings were a frantic dash to pick her up, attempt dinner, help with homework, a challenge with a grieving child, and somehow tuck her into bed, utterly exhausted. He felt like he was failing, constantly falling short. Failing Lily by not being enough, not being her mother. Failing himself by just surviving, not living. The nights were the worst. After Lily was asleep, the silence descended, thick and heavy. He'd sit in the living room looking at the photos on the wall, Catherine's smiling face, their family trips, moments of carefree happiness that felt like they belonged to another lifetime. He'd wonder endlessly if he was handling this right, if Lily would ever find her joy again, if he would. One rainy Tuesday, a new volunteer started at the library. Eleanor. She was quiet, with kind eyes that crinkled at the corners when she smiled, and hands that moved with a gentle competence as she sorted returned books. She had a peaceful aura about her that David found surprisingly calming. They started talking over shared mugs of tea in the small staff room, simple conversations about books, the weather, the town. David found himself sharing, hesitantly at first, about Lily, about Catherine, about the quiet struggle of his life. Eleanor listened, truly listened, without platitudes or pity, just with genuine empathy. Slowly, tentatively, a friendship grew. Eleanor had experienced loss herself. A quiet understanding passed between them. They started spending time together outside of the library, a walk in the park, a shared dinner at a quiet cafe. David found himself feeling lighter, the constant tension in his shoulders easing slightly in her presence. He hesitated for a long time before introducing her to Lily. The thought felt like a betrayal of Catherine, a step he wasn't sure he was ready for, a change Lily might not accept. When he finally did, it was a quiet afternoon at the library. Eleanor was helping sort children's books. Lily came to visit after school. "Lily, this is Eleanor," David said, his voice a little tight. "She volunteers here. Eleanor, this is my daughter, Lily." Lily offered a shy, fleeting smile, then retreated behind David's legs. Eleanor knelt down, her smile warm and unforced. "Hello, Lily. It's lovely to meet you. Your dad tells me you love reading." She spoke softly, making no demands, just offering a gentle presence. Lily didn't say much, but she didn't outright refuse Eleanor's attempts at conversation. It was a small victory. Over the following months, Eleanor became a more regular presence in their lives. She joined them for quiet dinners at the cottage, helped David with organizing things around the house, or simply sit and read quietly while David wrestled with bills. She never tried to replace Catherine, never pushed herself into Lily's space, but offered a consistent, gentle kindness. Lily remained reserved in her presence when David was watching, polite but distant. She still didn't offer much conversation at dinner. Her eyes still held that lingering sadness. David longed for a sign that Lily was connecting with Eleanor, that this new, warm presence was helping to fill the empty space Catherine had left. But he couldn't tell. His relationship with Eleanor deepened. She understood him in a way few people could. seeing the exhausted father, the grieving widower, and the quiet man beneath it all. They spoke of the possibility of a future together, a future that would mean Eleanor spending more time at the cottage, becoming a more permanent part of their lives. It was a joyful prospect, tinged with David's anxiety about how Lily would truly feel. Then came the unexpected. David's elderly aunt, who lived several hours away, had a fall and needed someone to stay with her for a few days while arrangements were made. It was short notice. David couldn't take Lily out of school. He called Eleanor. "Of course, David," she said without hesitation. "I can stay at the cottage. I'll take care of Lily. Don't you worry about a thing." David was immensely grateful, but a knot of worry tightened in his stomach. Leaving Lily alone with Eleanor, even for a few days, felt like a huge step. He spoke to Lily before he left. "Eleanor will be staying with you, sweetheart," he said, kneeling before her. "She'll take good care of you." Lily nodded, her expression unreadable. "Okay, Daddy." When David returned 3 days later, tired but relieved, Eleanor greeted him with a warm hug. "Everything was fine, David," she said, smiling. "Lily was a perfect angel. We had a lovely time, read stories, played some quiet games." Her report was entirely positive, reassuring. But later that evening, as David was tucking Lily into bed, she clung to him. "Daddy," she whispered, her voice small, "I don't like Eleanor." David's heart sank. "Oh, sweetheart, why? Did something happen?" Lily shook her head, burying her face in his shoulder. She tried to move Mommy's picture from the mantelpiece, and she made me eat vegetables I didn't like. And she was mean." David was stunned. Mean? Tried to move Catherine's picture? Eleanor, the kindest, most gentle person he knew? It didn't fit at all with the woman he had come to love, or with Eleanor's own account of the past few days. But this was Lily, his daughter, hurting and vulnerable. He couldn't dismiss her feelings. He felt torn, confused, a heavy weight settling back into his chest. Who was telling the truth? The conflicting accounts gnawed at him. He couldn't shake the image of Eleanor being anything but kind. Yet Lily's distress seemed real. He loved them both. The thought of having to choose, or of navigating this tangled web of accusations, was unbearable. He needed to know the truth, for all their sakes. A few weeks later, another short trip came up, a mandatory work conference this time, just for 2 days. The knot of worry returned, bigger this time. He had to leave Lily with Eleanor again. But he also saw an opportunity, a painful, ethically complicated opportunity. He needed to see with his own eyes what happened when he wasn't there. Before he left, while Lily was at school and Eleanor was at the library, David did something that felt profoundly wrong, a betrayal of trust that made his stomach clench with guilt. He set up a small, discreet camera in the living room, hidden amongst the books on a high shelf. He hated himself for doing it, felt like a spy in his own home. But the need to understand, the desperate confusion caused by Lily's words versus Eleanor's actions, drove him to it. He prayed he wouldn't capture anything that would confirm his worst fears. The 2 days felt like an eternity. When he finally returned, his first priority wasn't unpacking, but retrieving the camera. His hands trembled as he connected it to his laptop in the quiet of his bedroom. He clicked on the video file, the timestamp showing the moment he had left. He watched, his heart heavy with apprehension. The footage showed Eleanor entering the living room, tidying up. Lily came in from school, dropping her backpack. Eleanor greeted her warmly, offering a snack. Lily responded with her usual quiet politeness. They sat on the sofa. Eleanor started reading a book aloud in funny voices, and Lily giggled, genuinely giggled. David's breath hitched. He hadn't heard Lily laugh like that in months. They spent the evening together. Eleanor helped Lily with her homework patiently, explaining a tricky math problem with gentle encouragement. They ate dinner together, Eleanor listening intently as Lily, surprisingly, started talking about a drawing she'd made at school. Eleanor praised her creativity, asked thoughtful questions. They watched a children's movie, snuggled under a blanket on the sofa. Eleanor didn't touch Catherine's photos on the mantelpiece. She didn't seem mean at all. She was warm, attentive, kind. The footage continued into the next day, showing similar scenes of quiet connection and genuine care. Lily was responsive, sometimes even initiated interactions, sharing toys, asking Eleanor to read another story. It was a stark, undeniable contrast to the picture Lily had painted for him. David stopped the video, his mind reeling. He felt a wave of relief. Eleanor wasn't mistreating Lily, wasn't trying to erase Catherine, but it was quickly followed by a fresh surge of confusion and hurt. Why would Lily lie? Why would she tell him those things if they weren't true? He sat with the footage for a long time, replaying parts of it, trying to make sense of the disconnect. Then a different kind of understanding began to dawn. It wasn't about what Eleanor did, it was about how Lily felt. That evening, after Lily was ready for bed, David sat beside her. He took her hand, looking into her blue eyes so like Catherine's. "Sweetheart," he began, his voice gentle. "Remember when I went away, and you told me you didn't like Eleanor, that she tried to move Mommy's picture and was mean?" Lily nodded, her gaze dropping. "I was worried," David continued. "Very worried, because I love you very much, and I love Eleanor. I didn't know what to think." He paused, choosing his words carefully. I I saw a little bit of what happened while I was gone, Lily, and I saw Eleanor being very kind to you. And I saw you. I saw you smiling. You even giggled." Lily's eyes welled up instantly. Tears spilled down her cheeks. "Daddy, I'm sorry," she sobbed, throwing her arms around his neck. David held her close. "It's okay, sweetheart. You don't have to be sorry. Can you tell me, though? Why did you say those things? If you and Eleanor were getting along?" Lily pulled back, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. Her small face crumpled with emotion. Because it felt wrong, Daddy," she whispered, her voice thick with tears. "When you weren't here, Eleanor was so nice, and I started to really like her, and it felt like I was forgetting Mommy, like I wasn't supposed to laugh or have fun with anyone else. Like if I liked Eleanor, it meant I didn't love Mommy anymore. And I do, Daddy. I love Mommy so, so much." Her confession, raw and heartbreaking, explained everything. It wasn't malice or mistruth. It was a child's guilt, a loyal heart struggling with the confusing emotions of grief and the fear that new love might erase old love. David's own eyes filled with tears. He wrapped his arms around Lily again, holding her tightly. "Oh, Lily Bug," he murmured, stroking her hair. "That's not how love works, my sweet girl. Loving Eleanor doesn't mean you love Mommy any less. Our hearts are big, sweetheart. They can hold so much love." He pulled back, holding her gently by the shoulder so she could look at him. "Mommy loved you more than anything in the world, and she loved me. She would want us to be happy, Lily, truly happy. She would want us to find comfort and kindness and to let new people into our lives who care about us." He pointed to a photo of Catherine on the bedside table, her smile radiating warmth. "Mommy's always with us, in our hearts, in our memories. No one can ever take her place, but Eleanor isn't trying to take her place. She just wants to love us, both of us. And she knows how much we love Mommy." He looked at Lily, her tear-streaked face beginning to show a flicker of understanding. "It's okay to like Eleanor, Lily. It's okay to have fun with her. It's okay to let her care for you. It doesn't mean you're betraying Mommy. It means our family's growing, adding more love, not replacing the love that's already there." He stayed with Lily until her breathing evened out, the sobs subsiding into quiet sniffles. He felt a profound sense of relief. The heavy weight of confusion lifted, replaced by a deep, aching tenderness for his daughter and a boundless appreciation for Eleanor's quiet patience and understanding. He had misjudged Lily, not Eleanor. He had searched for conflict between them when the real battle was happening inside his daughter's loyal, grieving heart. Later that night, he sat with Eleanor, telling her everything. Lily's confession, the camera. He admitted that with shame. But Eleanor, with her infinite kindness, simply took his hand. The conversation with Lily. Eleanor listened, her eyes filled with compassion. "Oh, David," she said softly. "Poor little sprout. I suspected it might be something like that. It's hard for them, isn't it? Wanting to be happy again, but feeling like it's wrong." "You weren't hurt that she said those things?" David asked, marveling at her grace. "Of course not," Eleanor said gently. "Children process grief in complex ways. Her loyalty to Catherine is beautiful. It just needs gentle understanding. She smiled, a hopeful, warm smile. We'll navigate this together, David. All three of us. We'll find a way to honor Catherine's memory, to keep her love central, while still making space for new happiness, new love. It won't be easy, perhaps, but it will be real. In the following weeks, the atmosphere in the cottage shifted again. It wasn't an instant transformation, but a gradual thawing. David and Lily talked more openly about Catherine, sharing memories, looking at photos together. They also started actively including Eleanor in these moments, sharing stories with her, showing her Catherine's favorite books at the library, pointing out things Catherine loved. Eleanor listened with genuine interest and respect, never trying to insert herself, just offering a kind presence. Lily slowly began to trust that loving Eleanor didn't mean abandoning her mother's memory. She started seeking out Eleanor on her own, sharing secrets, asking for help with homework. The giggle David had heard on the camera footage began to appear more often, bubbling up spontaneously during dinner, during playtime, filling the house with a sound that had been missing for too long. The photos of Catherine remained on the mantelpiece, treasured reminders of the love that had laid the foundation of their family. But now new photos began to appear alongside them. Pictures of David, Lily, and Eleanor laughing together in the park, baking cookies in the kitchen, reading stories on the sofa. They were a testament to the new chapters being written, not erasing the past, but building upon it. David felt the heavy weight lift, not just from his shoulders, but from his heart. He was no longer just surviving. He was living, loving, and building a future that felt hopeful and full. He had learned that sometimes the problems we fear are external are actually internal, rooted in the complex landscape of grief and love, and that the solution often lies not in uncovering deceit, but in uncovering the hidden emotions in our loved ones, meeting them with understanding, patience, and the unwavering assurance that love, in its many forms, is a boundless gift. The quiet house, once full of sorrow, was now filled with a different kind of quiet, the peaceful hum of a family finding its way, honoring the past while embracing the present, woven together by understanding, resilience, and the enduring power of a love that simply refused to be contained.